Welcome to FNP Project YouTube channel and podcast. I'm the host, Miki Miura. I'm a family nurse practitioner in the United States. In this channel, we talk about everything about how to study abroad successfully, how to build a successful, amazing nursing career, nurse practitioner career in the United States while you are fully enjoy your life. Today's topic is what is American nursing? For those who was born and raised or who received basic nursing education outside the United States but want to come to the United States to build nursing career further, like me, it is very important to understand American nursing because American nursing might be very different from nursing that you learn in your home country. This was true to me. American nursing is very different from Japanese nursing, and I'm going to explain the 5 reasons or 5 characteristics of American nursing in this video. Before we're going to get into today's topic, I just want to give you a free online lesson, which is 38 minutes. This is about time management. So a lot of people ask me like, wow, Miki, you have 4 jobs, you work, you do a lot, but then you go surf 3-4 times a week, you go on vacation all the time, and you look very happy. What is the secret? How do you make time for those? There are, over the years, I've been in the United States for 13 years or so. And, I've been through grad school, being a new grad nurse practitioner and all that stuff. And there was a point that I worked full-time as a nurse practitioner and then also go to the doctorate program for full-time. So that was really, really crazy time. But throughout those time, I figure out how to do things effectively and efficiently so that I can still make time for things that I love. And I think that's very, very important for our mental health and also work and study performance. Anyway, in that free video that you can get by signing up for our email list, I'm sharing 7 secrets for time management, 7 secrets to make time for things you love. So I don't want you to miss that opportunity. How do you sign up for that? You can go to usa.jnpproject.com/free lesson, and there's no space between the word free and the word lesson. Again, usa.jnpproject.com/free lesson. If you're watching YouTube video, I'm going to put the link below. So please don't miss this opportunity because this is a free lesson. It's 38-minute lesson, and you can watch it again and again as you wish. But let's get into today's topic, which is about American nursing. What is American nursing? Let's dive in. Okay, so today's topic is what is American nursing? This episode is specifically for international nurses who received basic nursing education outside the United States. If you want to build a nursing career in the United States, become a nurse practitioner like me, it's crucial to understand American nursing because we nurse practitioners are also a nursing professional, and this is very, very, this is the core of nursing. If you're going to practice in America, you need to understand what American nursing is. You cannot, you cannot just guess or guess that it's exactly the same as a nursing that you learn in your own country. So there are 5 characteristics of American nursing. So first one is our primary commitment is to the patient. We are not working for physicians. we're not working for somebody else, but our commitment. We work for patients. And that's very, very clear. And it was very refreshing to me because, I was a nurse in Japan, and there is a law in Japan states nurses are there to assist physicians. It's just written, it's been there for who knows how many years, decades and decades, and it hasn't changed yet. We're trying to change because there is a movement to create legal nurse practitioner system in Japan too. But the law states that nurses are there to assist physicians. So the way of thinking that I was taught in Japan as a nurse was different. But in America, it's very clear. We're not there to assist physicians. We're there to help patients. So our primary commitment is to the patient. That's straight up very clear. Number two, the second characteristic of American nursing is that nurses are advocate for patients. For those of you who don't know the word advocate, if you're learning English and stuff like that, I would say go ahead and look it up because this is the word that you're going to hear over and over and over when you're learning American nursing. So definitely a key word. But what that means is basically you speak up for that person. Speak up for person. So, when the patient is unconscious for some reason, maybe overdose or medically induced coma. There are many reasons why patient might be unconscious at that point, but nurses are there to protect their privacy, protect their rights, even when they can't speak for themselves. Our role is to stand up for them and then to protect their rights. Again, we are working for patients, but also we're advocate. So that's very clear. You hear this word, patient advocate all the time. So for example, if a physician orders something or prescribes some medicine, and as a nurse, you realize that that's not the right dosage, that's not the right medicine, it might potentially harm the patient, instead of just be like, oh, well, physician said so I'm just going to go ahead and give it. But as a nurse in the United States, you have responsibility. This is not even just like, oh, you're just doing it just because you are ethically obligated also. But we, as a nurse, we also have a responsibility. It's not just because, I was just following the orders for a physician, so I have no fault. No, it's not going to work like that. Especially in the United States, we are professionals who have legal responsibility. So as a nurse in the United States, if you notice that, I don't know if this is a safe medication to give, safe dosage, safe treatment, you are obligated to speak up as an advocate for a patient and tell a physician or healthcare teams, say, hey, I'm not too sure this is the right dosage. I'm not too sure this is the right medication or right treatment, because patient cannot say, maybe they are unconscious, maybe they are conscious, but maybe they don't understand, what should be the right dosage and stuff like that. But as a professional, we know, we have knowledge, and we are obligated to advocate for a patient. Third characteristic is that we are highly educated professionals who practice based on scientific evidence. So I often I have a lot of opportunities to educate nursing faculties from Japan or nursing students from Japan. And I get asked like, hey, do you guys practice EBP, evidence-based practice? And when they asked that question, I was really surprised, to be honest, because I was like, yes, everything I do is evidence-based. So we are scientists. We nurses in America consider ourselves as a scientist. We don't do things just because your mentor told you to do so, or just because your coworker is doing it, or just because physicians tell you to do so. You also have to think for yourself and have scientific evidence of why you do things. As a nurse practitioner in the United States, I always do things based on evidence. Sometimes I, consult with a physician about complicated case, and if those things are something that I'm unfamiliar with, then I feel like, oh, this might be a new guideline that I'm unaware of. Instead of just saying, okay, Dr. So-and-so said this, so I'm just going to do it. I always ask, hey, do you mind sharing the guideline that you mentioned? I would like to know a little bit more. Because we also have, as an individual nurse or a nurse practitioner particularly, we have legal responsibility to be responsible for what we do. So we are not working for a physician. It's not just about the pride, but also we own that responsibility. So as a professional who got trained, nurse practitioners usually get master's degree or doctorate degree. And then after 2025, all the nurse practitioner would have DNP. So we are doctorate educated, trained professionals. What that means is that we also have to own up for the degree. So we are highly trained professionals. So that comes with the responsibility, not just being called, with the doctorate degree and stuff like that. But anyway, definitely I'm not going to just do things just because I heard from my mentor, just because I see my colleague doing this thing, or just because, physician said to do so or something like that. So definitely we are individual professionals that we own up to our own responsibility and do things based on the scientific evidence. Fourth characteristic of American nursing is that we nurses in America have very high pride in our own profession. We are very, very proud, and I'm so proud of my nursing colleagues for what we do and our ethics. We are very, very proud. This is not something that you can do overnight. It requires a lot of training, but not only the training and effort, but we also have a high ethical standard. And it is not an easy job. We also have to be updated for medical, the research and scientific evidence. And then one thing I forgot to mention for the third characteristic about the scientific evidence is that in America, we have to renew our license. For nurse practitioners, we have to renew our registered nurse license and license for APRN, Advanced Practice Registered Nurse License, every 2 years. For that, we have to get certain hours of continuous education so that our knowledge will be up to date. We can't just practice based on the science from 20 years ago and stuff like that, because science evolves. And sometimes things that we believe that was true might proven that it was actually wrong. So we need to update our knowledge, and our licensing system kind of force ourselves to be up to date. But go back to the fourth characteristic, which that the nurses in America have a high pride. We are, I guess it depends on the country of what image people have for nurses. But in America, just ask any American friends what they think of nurses, or your physician friend who went to America to have a training or whatever. They probably will say, well, they can be a little scary or they have a high pride. We do, I think in Japan, nurses are considered angel in a white uniform or something like that. In truth, it's not just that. But definitely nurses in Japan are so kind, so gentle. I'm not saying that American nurses are not kind at all. We're definitely kind. But we also consider ourselves as professionals that are highly skilled. And we have a very high pride in a good sense. And it's so fun to be part of this, the largest healthcare professional in the United States. And then the fifth characteristic of American nursing, there are so many things. And if you want to learn more, we have a boot camp. It's all in English, but boot camp to prep people for a nurse practitioner program in the United States. And one module is everything about American nursing. And we're going to go over a code of ethic and stuff like that. So this is just, because this video is limited in terms of the time, can't talk about everything. But if you want to learn more, boot camp is, where to go. Anyway, so the fifth characteristic of American nursing is the nurses are the most trusted professional for 21st years in a row in America. So there's different kinds of professions like policemen, firefighters, politicians, teachers, contractors. There's so many professions, right, in this country. But for the 21st years in a row, every year for the last 21 years, nurses are the number one most trusted profession. And it means so much, and it tells a lot of what we do, what nurses do, and how the public perceive us. And I think one of the reasons why we being the most trusted professionals in America is because, for patients, they know that our best interest is the patient's best interest. We're not aiming for, the hospital's making money, or we always think about, okay, what's best for patient, and it's that's why we have a high pride too. But we are very proud of what we do, and also patients see that we have a very high ethical standard. So it's very, very wonderful that public see us that we are most trusted professional. So I mentioned 5 characteristics of American nursing. Again, if you want to learn more, and definitely this is something that you should know before you go into nurse practitioner program, because once you're in the nurse practitioner program, they assume that you're gonna be the same as American nursing American students. So they assume that you already know all these things already. And then you just receive a graduate education to become a nurse practitioner. So this is something that you definitely need to know. So I mentioned 5 characteristics of American nursing. I hope this was interesting to you. Let me know if you have any requests for videos, and also if you're coming from different countries, I would really appreciate if you can share your opinions of the difference between the nursing that from your own country and the nursing in America. All right, you have a great day. Aloha.